Ladies and gentlemen, we start off the week with a stream, and we're ending it with one too. And this might probably be our final journey into Myst, as there's really not much left to
What a
do.
shame. He was a good man. What a rotten way to die.
Welcome, Frosty. Oddly appropriate because that's kind of the sentiment I do have for Myst right now. It's pretty damn good. I mean, for the time it was released, if I were to play the original, it definitely wouldn't have aged well as if I were to play it nowadays. But this 3D remake has definitely put it into the current age in a fashion that I can get behind. Like, the recent years have been quite generous to us when it came to walking simulators, and I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if Cyan look at this up and coming rise of the specific indie offshoot, and we're like, we could take our original formula, base it around that, and add our iconic touch to it. And I'd say that worked out pretty well for him. This is basically me already giving a Myst review before even completing the full game. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely stuck with me. And quite frankly, I would be opposed to playing at least Riven, which also received this kind of treatment from the studio. I mean, I don't know what they're even up to these days, but if every single mainline Myst would get this sort of fresh coat of paint, hey, I'd be down for it. I'm probably gonna end up playing all the Myst games, regardless. By the way, it's funny to think about this in the context of the fourth Myst being developed by Ubisoft, because it's like, are they even gonna touch it?
An idiot admires complexity, a genius admires simplicity.
Hello, Golden. That is also a very factually accurate statement for Myst, because some of these puzzles do indeed appear to be simple, but then they turn out to be some of the most obnoxious, contrived leaps of faith, logic involved that I've ever seen in video games, period. Also, thank you for jumping in, guys. Do appreciate you hanging out as usual. We got all the staples, all the big names coming in to watch me see this through the end, and that we will. So we've seen one ending for Myst, which is, one of the bad ones, and that is we didn't adhere to the brothers' advice, and we went into the book of their father without getting one of the required items for us to potentially free the guy from his imprisonment. Instead, we ended up being stuck with him forever, which, I mean, on the other hand, at least he's a roommate forever. He's not going to be all by his lonesome self. Look, I do appreciate a good book, but getting trapped in one for possibly forever, it's not my that's not my ideal of spending a Sunday night. But you know what, though? If it was the SCP that's unassuming tome at first, but once you open it up, the moment you fall asleep, you get to experience a lucid dream where it turns out the book is like a DM under the guise of an old man that's like, hey, I'm basically gonna make a campaign for you in your head, and you can live out this scenario for possibly even hundreds of years inside your mind. The only drawback to that is those folks that have lived out entire lives inside the dream realm have experienced severe backlash upon waking up. So, yeah, it's a kind of a bittersweet scenario, sadly. Still pretty cool, though. Ah, yeah, so remember this puzzle here, which is one of the last ones that you need to beat in order to but essentially unlock the last two pages for the brothers' prisons and also the green one where their father is trapped. Remember how in that one tome you have like 300 different solutions to this sequence, and I was like, what if I actually were to meticulously try out every single one of them? Which you can. There's nothing stopping you from going all the way. I gave up after like 30 of these variants. And it turns out that the solution is halfway into the book. So like 150 something is the correct answer. So you wouldn't even have to go through all of them. Just have the patience to actually brute force your way. But then when you beat the game proper, just get a fragment of what you need. Anyway, we're gonna get the last two pages. And then we're gonna do the smart thing. What's the smart thing, you may ask? Well, we're gonna try and free the other two captives. That is, if I can leave, which I'm not sure if I can leave without interacting with the book first and getting the initial dialogue. So let's do that. Just as a recap.
Who the devil are you? Don't come here to Donny, not yet. Oh, I have many questions for you.
Why is the game so quiet? I mean, to boost the volume. Well, thank goodness we have subtitles.
Stories. My name is Atris.
I think I already said this once, but these talking heads, at least in their master, have like serious classic Fallout vibes. Maybe with a couple of extra frame of animations, so they don't just awkwardly bob forward and back.
Many years ago. But the red and blue books, those were different. I wrote those books to trap over-greedy explorers that might stumble upon my island of Myst. But I had no idea my own son.
Yeah, how funny how that turned out, huh?
Sons, Cirrus and Acheron. We had many journeys together. I gave them free rein to the books. Perhaps it was not wise. I could see the greed growing in them. I had not told
What I find interesting about Myst lore is that you get a lot of exposition in the beginning, so you can peruse through all the tomes available in the library to learn about the other ages that you will be exploring. But like the real meat of the plot, that only comes in once you actually get into the other islands and see the carnage that these two dinguses have invoked.
they used their own mother. Oh, my dear Catherine. To lure me here to Dunny. Of course, I could return to Myst, except they removed a single page from my Myst.
It's even more of a whiplash when
Return without that page.
you're reading
My friend can bring the
about the first island where the tree folk used to live.
lies
And that was like their home
find it in yourself.
during their
Page to me here.
growth as teens.
I could go
And
justice to my sons.
I mean, you wouldn't expect them to become
I must return to my right.
the greedy tyrants they have become.
You believe me. Please hurry. Bring the page. Bring the page with you.
Oh, there we go. Actually, now I can exit. Can I? Should be able to do that by pressing the button.
Have you found the missing page? Oh, come. Come on, then.
No. Do not try to lure me to false sense of security. Oh man, we know what happened last time. Oh, you actually have to dismiss the combination and then put it in again. Well, better hope that I remember which one it was. Fun fact, I don't. But it's right here. One of these two. Anywho, which one of these fine gentlemen do we want to meddle with first? One is a cynical, calculated villain. The other, a deranged lunatic. Now, both are pretty bad, mind you. Unfortunately, this makes me believe that you can't just free both at the same time, and that's
I'm free.
a missed opportunity.
Thank you, my friend.
Ugh,
Dear friend.
why are you so glossy?
You've done the right thing.
Bro looks like he's made out of plastic.
It looks like perhaps you're in the book now.
Gotta say though, that's a Colgate smile if I've seen one.
Page. I hope you enjoy your new home as much as I enjoyed it.
Wow, I have a whole
Can't see
circle to
you.
me.
You're getting less clear. I hope you're into books.
Oh, it's so hilarious.
The library looks much the same as I left it. Wagner. Oh. Goodbye.
You could have put that guy in Batman as a small-time evildoer, and he would fit the bill with how theatrical his behavior is. Oh, now I really want to see just how hammy Ekinar gets. Still, I wish they could have let you free both of these guys. I feel like that would have been a really good interaction. Although I do get the sentiment that you need to be able to swap places with them to be free. Like that's how the book works. I just would have loved them see each other freed from their imprisonment and immediately go at each other's throats, while you just stare, extremely confused. I'm pretty sure I went offline before going live, so that's a little awkward. What sucks though is you can't skip the credits still, so we're gonna be seeing this list of names every time. Just as a reminder of all the fine folks at Cyan and associated studios that made the original and remaster a possibility. Of course, you gotta drop Epic Games too. I guess it's because they made the game available in the shop. Probably. Who knows at this point? Listen, to me, Epic is still mostly a Fortnite platform. And then I'll occasionally just peruse what they offer with the free games and scoop whatever catches my fancy. I believe the next upcoming title is River City Girls, if that's up anyone's alley. Honestly, should check my collection because there's probably a couple of games up there that will be worth streaming sooner or later. Myst uses Unreal Engine, just like how the original did. Nah, I'm not even sure what tech they built the base game on. But there you have it. That's what happens when we side with Cirrus. Next up, Ekenar. Oh, it actually brings it back here instead of the secret compartment. That's good. This can't be much different, can it?
Oh, yes. I feel alive.
It's a very tacky gesture.
How do you feel, my
It's like
friend?
painted with a marker.
And what have we here? Perhaps the pages you worked so hard for. Oops.
I mean, I do like blue a little more than red, so it's a tad homelier.
Perhaps you sing the world from my point of view. Oh, yes. Ooh. Serious. Serious.
You're getting a little too excited here, pal.
Maybe someone will rescue you someday. Yes. Yes. You lose.
I mean, literally. And that's like the third time, too. Three different ways you can completely fuck up the game. If this doesn't make you hate literature, I don't know what will. Now every single time I open a classic tome, I'm gonna be afraid of getting sucked in. And not even in the cool isekai sense, just trapped within a 5x5 pocket dimension. With nothing to keep me occupied besides flashing lights of a single shade of one solid color. Well, while this is going on, can we take a moment to talk about the interesting developments with the Devil May Cry Netflix show? Because, oh boy. Oh man. Those clips that have been posted out of context, like, Holy fuck, dude. I mean, I knew Castlevania was cooked for a very, very long time now. But I don't think anyone expected Eddie Shankar to just absolutely lose his mind and stray farther from the source material than ever before. Like, how do you look at Devil May Cry and then make a statement of America bad, we nuked hell, demons are a minority, all while Green Day is playing in the background? I want to say it's almost so bad, it's good, but that would actually be giving the dude credit. And I'm not doing that. I do not want to enable this kind of behavior anymore. And also, I think it'll be great if we could not give this madman any more IPs to fuck around with. I almost want to feel bad for actually liking like the first season of the Castlevania show, but looking back, it was like way different totally than what came afterwards. And you know, it's not even that with Devil May Cry in particular, it can be deep, because if you actually look at like Dante's backstory and all the shit he went through with his family, yeah, he's a kooky, wild dude that fucks around a lot and has sort of a prick behavior, but it's actually even explained in the games that it's kind of a coping mechanism for a good part of his life before he actually matures and gets a little serious afterwards. But, you know, try and explain these kind of nuances to Eddie Shankar and his audience of edgy teenagers spend all their lives on social media. I mean, what can you do? What can you do besides absolutely condemning all these kinds of stains on good franchises and then trying to dissuade people from messing around with them more? Not like it's gonna stop them, but at least maybe dissuade from more attempts. That's just wishful thinking my part. Anyway, I don't think we can immediately get any more endings, because we got the one with the green book before getting a letter that the dad wants us to bring him. We said if it's Cirrus and Achenar, so the next logical step would to actually build all the prerequisites for the, well, good ending, I imagine. So we've seen one part of the letter in the land of the tree folks, and I believe the second one was somewhere in the lighthouse area. So we're gonna go back here, and I'm gonna try to take a screenshot of it so I can piece this together and show it off. Because I believe that will hold the clue we need to initiate the final ending. It is, if I can remember where we've seen the second ladder. Might have to mess around with the water levels again. Or not even that. How did this work again? Alright, you gotta go to this panel. Hey Quampa, this is the 2020 full 3D remake. Which a couple of weeks ago received a free update where they added the Age of Rime, which I'm gonna be checking out after we are done everything in the base game. Okay, the piece of paper we're looking for is not in Cirrus's chamber. You can actually tell apart the brothers' residence because, hey, they're always color-coded to match their masters. Wait a minute. Oh, right, I might have to just revert to this setting. But then go to the different doorway. Because there's two. One of these should have the second piece. I'm looking for... Yep, there we go. Something Marcus Sweet. Alright, now I'm gonna put that into a good old MS Paint. Right, so we got this guy. I'm gonna load up the other one. And I'm just gonna try and splice these two. So do give me a minute while I work on my immaculate art skills. Right, paste like this. Then go back to here. This may not look perfect, but as long as it, you know, helps us in getting the full picture, that's what matters. I'll go back here, paste. Can't really like perfectly match these because of the background elements, but whatever, we can like. Okay, I'm gonna put them like this. There we go. Now, make that as a whole image. resize a little bit so it's not overly huge in OBS once I put it here. That's real Myst, isn't it? The earlier 3D rendition, which plays a little more like the original, but they did add more interactivity to it. How did you like that one? I pretty much have all three because of the Myst bundle. Just decided to go with I did see Frosty play OG Myst for retro achievements. For the sake of variety, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with this one to be different. So now, where's the image file? Let me check it in here. So instead, the fuck did I put it? Oh, Uru, the spin-offs? Are those like actually related to Myst or a completely different ballpark? For the love of God, I actually don't know where I put the image file. I think I saved it. Did I? The hell? Yeah, it's here. So why does it want to show in OBS? All files. Hmm. That's strange. Hang on, let me try that again. There we go. That was a bit messy, but we made it. Okay, marker switch vault access. Island of Myst. The vault is located in a very plain view on the Island of Myst. And access can be achieved very easily if the simple instructions are followed. First, locate each of the marker switches on the island. Turn every one of these switches to the on position. Then go to the dock, and as a final step, turn the marker switch there to the off position. Huh. Seems simple enough. I imagine they play pretty much similar to mainline Myst, right? So mostly just walk around and solve puzzles while story beats happen in the background. Really, the soundtrack in Myst hasn't really stood out to me, as in, it's amazing and super memorable, but does a good job at building a cozy atmosphere. That's for sure. Right, so let's make sure that these are all at the on position. So facing up. There's a whole bunch of these switches, so easy to miss one if you're not paying attention. That's a main one. Like, well, they're all located outdoors, so you can really miss them. Let's give this a shot. That was easy. Found the white page. Right then. Let's head on to Old Man Jenkins over here and let him know the good news. It's gonna just gonna put that as an image file, because already with my memory of a goldfish, I've forgotten whether it's 156, 157 or 158. So I'm gonna have both on standby in case I mess this up. Oh, it's the other one. Look at all these cool Tetris blocks that we're building. Then one here, and all these here. Uh-oh. Something ain't right here. Now I'm pretty sure I didn't fuck up the page, because it saves progress depending on how you were browsing for a book. So I've certainly left it on the one where the solution lies. So maybe I'm just building incorrect block combinations. Yeah, I mucked something up here.
Have you found the missing page? Oh, come. Come on, then.
Here we go. Just like Mario 64, except instead of paintings, we're jumping into books. Hey, buddy.
Ah, my friend, you've returned. And the page. Did you bring the page?
Yo, title book. It's the name of the game. kind of choice.
My sons have betrayed me. I know what I must do. I shall return shortly.
Yep. Did you see how his hair faded out last? What's he gonna do? Is he burning the books where his two sons are present? Seems a little harsh, but I mean they did lock him away.
It is done. I have many questions for you, my friend, but my writing cannot wait. I fear that my long delay may have already had a catastrophic impact on the world in which my wife, Catherine, is now being held hostage. Oh, and a reward. I'm sorry, but all I have to offer you is the library on the island of Myst and the books that are contained there. Feel free to explore at your leisure. I hope you find your exploration satisfying. You'll no longer have my sons to deal with. Oh, and one more thing. I'm fighting a foe much greater than my sons could ever imagine. At some point in the future, I may find it necessary to request your assistance.
Hey, building up for sequels.
I'm afraid you'll enjoy the explorations from my library on Myst.
Oh, those sneaky devils at Cyan.
The book. You can use the Myst linking book to return to Myst.
I actually wonder if this was in the original game, or whether they actually retroactively added these lines. Back then they knew this would be a successful series, kicking off many a smash hit game. Alright, well, we didn't really get the cutscene proper. Oh. Holy shit. He actually burned the books with his sons trapped in them. That's metal. My friend, now that you have seen the destruction brought by Cirrus and Achenar, you have no doubt have a very specific idea of who they were. Greedy, envious, hateful men. But there's one more page to turn. One less age where I hope you might see them, as I did, as my sons. Rime, Volume 1. Rime, I have named it. A desolate age with a beauty that is quite different than I have expected or imagined. Their jagged feathers of ice that fall from the sky are awe-inspiring. I feel as though I could watch them for hours. And though it is cold here, like I've never experienced before, I find myself enjoying the change of temperature, for it is unlike any other place I have ever seen. Perhaps the oddest thing is the silence. Although the wind blows on occasion, when it ceases, there is a suffocating silence that falls on this place, broken only by the distant cries of unseen creatures. I have visited 3 times, and I'm sure now that this age will provide the environment I need. I believe the cold temperature is crucial for obtaining the necessary refraction of light. Examining the structure of the books is ever more perplexing, but they are driven onward by my need to understand. The great tree of possibilities can never be fully grasped, but I must at least try to find one particular branch. Of course, the chance of using a blank linking book to find one specific age amongst the infinite variations that must exist is infinitesimal? Infinitesimal. What does that mean? Like infinite possibilities? Infinitesimal. I have never seen that word used before. Adjective. Extremely small. An indefinitely small quantity. A value approaching 0. Well, you learn something new every day. Like searching for a specific grain of sand on the beach. The only workable solution is to focus the connection of a damaged, unusable linking book. Perhaps I can bridge this much smaller gap. On the subject of enlightenment, I would also like to find the cause of the mysterious lights that shine in the darkness here. Though I never assumed I will be able to build especially fast here, the speed at which I am progressing is somewhat disappointing. I do think I will bring Cirrus and Ekinar as well as some of the machinery from Selenitic. Ekinar chose to stay with Catherine, and while Cirrus was unhappy about the prospect of exploring a new age without his brother, he was still excited to come. He has spent the last few days here with me, helping me with the beginning phases of construction. He, too, seems to enjoy the ice and cold weather. He is intrigued with the crystals that we brought with us. He has been a big help, as have others, and I hope to be able to begin my experiments here soon. Tonight, Cirrus and I found a wondrous spot to view the lights, although it seems they decided to hide from us. After sitting in the cold winds for over 2 hours, we saw nothing. It was very disappointing. Cirrus will return to Myst tomorrow. He has been a tremendous aid to me, and I'm thankful for his willingness to help. He is excited to tell Ekinar about his adventures, and it's clear to me how much he has missed his brother's company. The hard part of the construction is over, although I have decided after tonight that I would like to add some kind of observation post. I won't be finished as soon as I hoped, although I am fairly certain it will be worth the delay in the long run. I'm sure none of these drawings will be of any importance as we actually go into Rime. Something, physics, refraction of light. I have decided to take a break from the construction now that the tunnel is almost complete. I am quite convinced that with the right refraction, certain properties of the ink can be simulated. When I try to explain my theory to Catherine, she laughs and tells me I'm trying to hold infinity in a bottle. She laughs, and I laugh. Maybe she's right, but I must try regardless. I came too close to success on Everdunes. Besides, if all that comes from this effort is time spent with my sons, it will have been worthwhile. I am fairly certain now that temperature indeed does have an effect on the refractive properties of the crystals, but I have realized that temperature alone is not enough. Each crystal responds differently to the lower temperatures, and controlling the particulars is more challenging. Perhaps focusing on other more attainable goals in the short term will help. I should finish the shaft to my observation post while I have the machinery here. Perhaps tomorrow morning. StockSoundEffects.com. It's kind of like whenever you see, or hear, rather, the Doom door opening sound in other media. Like, me and Kwazak had a good chuckle when we were watching Event Horizon, and that exact sound effect kicked in as the futuristic doors were lifting open. But hey, similar kind of setting. The lights were beautiful again last night. They had not shown themselves for so long that I had almost forgotten their beauty. I still must find the cause. I am feeling rather overwhelmed with what remains to be done. I have made no progress on the crystals, the shaft is not finished, nor is the observation post or even the lab. I have not seen Catherine for some time, and I long to spend more time with Ekinar and Cirrus. Besides all of that, there are far away in the back of my mind the thoughts of my people and our lost city. I dreamt again of them last night. It will be like the first book that adds a whole bunch of lore to digest. Which, by the way, Catherine, his wife, gets name dropped a lot. And only now by talking to actress in the finale that we learned that she was kidnapped by a more, as he said, formidable opponent, which means that these guys have been building up into like a very grand picture of what's going on behind the scenes in Myst. Again, with the hopes of expanding upon this in future installments. So, yeah, if there's cliffhangers on unresolved plotlines, it's probably due to the fact that they left them for the future. To me, the one complaint that they do have is it's not exactly pinpointed when Akinar and Cirrus began shifting their behavior and became the people they are as adults. That, I guess you're supposed to fill in the blanks as you go through the island, so there's that. I've seen the city in its worst condition, still its beauty overwhelmed me. Even now, as I visualize how majestic it must have been before the construction caused by Viovis and Agaris in the mazes enthralls me. I'm certain that Denai is not as dead as my father believed. I am convinced there must be some who managed to escape destruction, and you now continue to serve in separate ages. Within me is an urging to take the chance and return to Dunny. You know what? To me, it's funny if I pronounce it as Dunny, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. To find these survivors and properly rebuild our city. However, I can do nothing until I am certain of the fate of my father. If my plan failed, if I missed a single book, when attempting to trap him on Riven, that's the sequel, then he has been free all along. If that is true, then all that stands between him and the ages I have now written is the link from Dunny to Myst. As much as I wish to return to Dunny, without knowing the fate of my father, I cannot risk re-establishing that link. I must observe my father without re-establishing that link. It's been several years, and there have been many dead ends, but the solution is out there somewhere. I know it. At least I hope. Catherine will have her ideas about all these things, and I miss her greatly. I will return to Rime later, when my mind has cleared. So we need to go down to the hologram, and we have sequence 40, and then 2735. That's on the astrological chamber. Another good opportunity to take a screenshot for incredibly useful information. Well, let's go and look the new island then, shall we? Oh yeah, Frosty, did you get to peep the Wendigo video on the JFK files? I gotta say, there is so much more meat to them than I originally anticipated. It's kind of wild because they go well and beyond just the investigation behind the murder of the president. So much so as giving a detailed look into the Cuban crisis, Operation Mongoose, and the assassination attempts on Fidel Castro. So much so that the CIA openly planned using biological agents to try and poison the food reserves there. And it's even outright stated in the documents themselves that they weren't even concerned about casualties among citizens, more so than potentially getting the agents traced to them. Actually nuts. There's another button here, which I haven't checked before. Right, so we need to have that at 40.
Catherine, my love, I have to leave quickly.
is it playing the message?
Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine, it's one of our sons. I suspect I can but I shouldn't leave to go.
Already saw that, Buster. Alright, I need to actually override it. Okay. Oh. Interesting. What do we do with this? Does that change the look of the island? In any meaningful way? Can only really turn the dial around. Which doesn't seem to change the structure of the hologram. Does that have to do with, like, the position of the watchtower? I'm pretty sure you're meant to operate that from the library, though. So, I'm not quite certain what's going on yet. But we do have something else we can do here. Maybe that's gonna give us another idea. 2735. No, wait, we need to put in the whole date here, though. So... seem right. Except I have nowhere to interact. How strange. Where else do they have a panel where I could put in a 4-digit code? Oh, not in the library. That's for sure. I mean, I could put in 273. But would that actually do anything is a whole different story. Two, 7, 3, 5. No, that seems wrong. Hmm. There's gotta be something down here. I'm just not seeing. Then again, when you only have like a small dial here, it seemingly doesn't do a whole lot. It's kind of tricky to come to any kind of reasonable conclusion. There's nothing else, besides this dial. I don't know what you want me to do, game. I'm gonna be honest. It's like there's 4 pieces, rather 3 pieces here that I'm missing. Looking at the picture again. Looking for any kind of minute change in the room as I spin the dial. Just to make some sense. Which doesn't seem to be happening. I don't know. There's little to work on here, if I'm to be honest. No matter how I spin this thing, nothing really of note is transpiring here. And as for the second piece with the code, that seems to be like a new panel that I haven't seen before on the island. So I don't even know where to look for it. Done everything here, that is. So up there in the watchtower we get all the clues in the buildings pertaining to the ages. And I believe we've already done all the points of interest, so yeah, nothing's gonna come up here. Unless you really meant to point this thing at the vault in the docks and then something happens. Which I'm gonna say is a stretch. A really, really long stretch. Uh, you gotta give me a little more to work with here. Because I am stumped already. Graphical extrusion test. I didn't miss anything in the book, did I? I mean, just outright gives you these two hints at the end and that's it. So, what gives, game? It's kind of how the island looks on the map here. So we got the mountain. don't care where this cut is. But does that mean anything? Am I supposed to get something out of checking the map and topography of that island to convey through that dial? That's the real mystery. There is no more beyond this last page. The only reasonable thing that comes to mind is after I muck around with this for long enough, something's gonna open up here, and that's gonna let me put in the code that we've seen below the view of the island. Question is, how am I to set this thing? I hope this is not case sensitive and it's gonna be exactly at the right frame. I was gonna be very upset. What if I'm stuck here for another hour? It would be very on point for a Myst game. I'm just gonna enhance on the screenshot and see if that gives you some kind of a idea on how this thing is supposed to be placed. I mean, not really. Not really. Hmm? I just wanna come on again. From when I thought I just completely broke a puzzle. Mm, I'm gonna look this up. Hmm. Give me a minute. Don't really see anything. Maybe on the community hub. Hmm. Sorry if this is taking a little long, but I'm not sure how to go about this. Mechanical H. Rime H. Decoration. Number found on the wall. Okay. Viewer should show a mountain holograph. Press the button that was circled in blue in the rhyme book. Huh? Was there? Um... The hell? Did they like rework this in the remaster? Because it seems a little different than what this walkthrough is pointing me towards. Yeah, there's no color coding here. I mean, there's a circle on this thing. That's about it. No buttons here though, Chief. Hmm. Well, this is awkward. We're running into some problems. Well, looks like I'm back to raiding walkthroughs. Okay, this might be real specific. Mountain holograph panel. First panel was circled in blue in the rhyme book. Well, that wouldn't be helpful if it generally was circled in blue. There's nothing of the sort. Well, you're indeed facing a bit of a problem here. Am I gonna have to look for a YouTube video to explain to me what's going on? Potentially. Alright, let's see, Myst remake Rime. Okay, Rime Age, no commentary. That's exactly what we looking at here. Unlocking the Age of Rime. Alright, let's see how stupid I am. Or possibly, yes, you know, missing a key component. So the guy is walking down here. Yep. See him approaching the mechanism. Puts in the 40, just like I did. Yep. The mountain appears. Presses the button. Where the dial thingy comes up. Okay, so he placed that thing downwards, just like I did. So it like matched the triangle. He's like going outside. So maybe there's something out there that I haven't need. Not checked. Oh yeah, indeed. I had a good thing going on, but it wasn't thorough enough. Check this out. There's a whole secret compartment here. It's unlocked. Including something here. Can't really go down there though, can we? There's something else we gotta do about this spot then. Okay, now that I get a bone thrown my way, Let's see if I can figure out the rest on my own. If I turn it, like say this, what would that do? I genuinely would have anticipated there being like a whole new hidden area. Alright, so once you move, yeah, once you move that dial, bits and pieces of this wall get moved around, so it seems like it's now facing this way. Maybe, oh, wait, I think I can see it now. Yeah, it's a reflection of this little bridge here. See, with the circular platforms. Alright. Me throwing my hands up in the air emoji, because I'm dumb. I might be stupid. End of sentence. Let's keep turning that thing and eventually we should find something of interest. Yeah, not quite. So I'm close, but I need to open up a little further. I think it's a little too far though. Maybe here? If not, then probably the other way around. To the left. No, never mind. Open ourselves a passage. There we go. Finally, I can put a code in. The code being 2735. Interesting way to go about inputting the dials. And there we go. The age of Rime is finally within reach. This is how we're starting off. Oh boy. Look forward to when I actually have to solve some real mind-boggling tasks. Well, hope we brought our winter coat, because as gorgeous as this opening scenery is, it's gonna be cold as North Pole out here. Damn, the moon looks absolutely beautiful though. Something to do with controlling the water flow again. That just kind of faded out of existence for a moment. It's not the first example of, you know, physics being a little weird. Oh, it's not it's not really about controlling water, but more getting heat pumped in here. Oh, I get it, because the door is like frozen shut, so we need higher temperature. To free up some mechanisms. What else have we got? Another viewpoint with a telescope this time. There was a whale doing whale things, as they tend to do. So I have a footpath train down here. Our engine here appears to be out of juice. Hey! We got the kick started. Let that heat in. That's what I'm talking about. Ultimate cozy. And it probably doubles as a oven. I love steampunkish settings, because they will take such simple concepts as a ladder and make it cool, because the ladder is now retractable automatically, powered through steam. Akron's journal. I'd recognize the terrible handwriting anywhere. Which then turns into perfect. It's not really Comic Sans, is it? Another gift journal from father. He doesn't quite get that I barely use these. Then again, here I'm writing in it, so I guess I shouldn't complain. It's always a kind gesture. My brother was right. The lights in the sky are unbelievable to see firsthand. The way they dance and shimmer behind the clouds fills me with a kind of peace that's hard to put into words. Cyrus paces when he's either trying to work out a difficult problem or when he's upset. Tonight, it's upset pacing. Head down, staring at the floor, big white stride. Usually I just let him stew until he sorts it out, but he's been going on for hours like this. Guess I'll just have to be the big brother and talk him through it. Turns out he was upset because he thinks father's ideas for the crystals are wrong, and he's too nervous to admit it to him. How is new father's opinions mattered? Mattered. Again, terrible handwriting. A lot of Cyrus, but he needs to get past this idea that father can never be wrong. Working outside for too long causes a dull ache behind my eyes. Even the normal light here is off somehow. I'm not sure how they deal with it. Maybe a brother's thick skull blocks it out. Sick burn there. Cyrus, if you're reading this, that was a joke. Don't go crying to father. Father asked me to help him design and build a device for cutting the crystals into thin sheets. From the big grin on Cyrus's face, it's clear that this was the big idea he was afraid to share. Looks like I was right. Again. This little brat thinks he's being so sneaky. I'm watching you over there, scribbling down your little plans. Look at you. You think no one knows what you're planning, but I do. Guess I'll have to keep an eye on him. Stupid child. Stupid pea-brain idiot. I was right. He snuck out to watch for the stupid whales. Slipped and cracked his head on some ice. Could have gone right over the edge if I hadn't been there. Writing just as I have something to put my mind to. His injury seemed severe at first, but after cleaning it, I can see that it isn't serious. A big scrape on his side and a really good knock on the head were the worst of it. He begged me not to tell father. As if there was any chance I would. As clever as he is, Cyrus is still just a child. Told father Cyrus fell ill and needed a day to sleep it off. He nodded immediately, asked me to help him with his work. I know he cares for us both, but would it kill him to at least be a little concerned? Though I have to admit, it was nice to spend the day working together. Just us. It's been a long time since we've done that. Father is absorbed in the final touches of his book device, so I doubt he'll notice if I repurpose some of the leftover parts from the stone ship. I have a little project of my own in mind. Shouldn't take more than a few hours if I just bolt the entire thing to the railing. Father's device works. Being able to see Channelwood without physically being there is truly unbelievable. For all the kind words about how much I contributed, I know this is more of their achievement than mine. They deserve to be proud. Then we got this chart here, which is any resourceful gentleman, I am of course going to copy paste. I'm sure it's eventually going to come in handy. There's a map here pertaining to potentially whale movement on the island. Property of Cyrus. It's very exciting to get to see one of father's ages so soon after he completes it. Usually he makes us wait so long before allowing us to visit. He told me Rime would be cold, but I was still completely surprised by just how much breathing in the air hurt. Father gave me this journal for my Rime observations. He said that Ekenar would also get one when he visits, and not to spoil the surprise. I hope I can convince my brother to come next time. Now that I'm more used to the cold, I can see how beautiful this place is. Father's skill with the art is amazing. Father explained his theories about the Everdune's crystals today. He wants to try build a machine to view ages without linking to them. He hopes that the crystals will reflect light through the linking panels and show what's on the other side. It sounds impossible, but I know he can figure it out. I began my experiments with the crystals. Father asked me to find a way to control how much each crystal refracts light. He even gave me my own workspace, just like this. I start by leaving each crystal out in the cold for different lengths of time to see if the different temperature changes anything. I can solve this. I know it. Father has me to return home to Myst. I hope it's not because I'm distracting him. I know I have a lot of questions, but he asked me to do these experiments. I just want to keep trying to figure it out. Ekenar decided to join me this time. Watching his shock at the call was very amusing. Father has built more dwelling space, and now we have a wonderful spot to view the lights. He asked us to help him finish the construction, but soon I will return to my crystal experiments. I've come up with some new ideas while away that I'm excited to test. I'm not having much success with the crystals. The amount of refraction is always changing. I can't seem to get a constant reading. It's very frustrating. But I realized something. I think Father's approach might be wrong. There's just no way to get reliable refraction from these crystals like this. I think I have an idea to solve it, but I don't know how to bring it up. I don't want to sound foolish to Father. Maybe he knows best, and I just don't see things like he does. Ekenar encouraged me to tell Father about my idea, so at last I did. He called it brilliant. He started working with Ekenar to build a machine to cut the crystals straight away. It's nice to see my ideas accepted so quickly without being told that they're unworkable or unsound. We're back from Myst again. It was a nice break from all the snow and ice. Father asked us to return to Rime without him, which he only does when he needs to talk to Mother about something serious. Why can't they just say what they want in front of me? I'm not a child anymore. When I'm grown, I have sons of my own. I won't ever hide serious things from them. Not too sure about that, pal. We finally saw the whales tonight. We hear their song once in a while, but they never come close enough for us to see until now. From the big cliff behind the observation tower, we saw a massive whale appear in the cove, followed by two smaller ones. Father said there were 3 of them just like us. Then he laughed and called us the little whale calves, which got a groan from me and a handful of snow from Ekenar. I wanted to stay out and keep watching, but Father lectured me about how it was too dangerous to be there alone. I protested, but he just gave me the sad look that means let it go. Fine, I'll just wait until later tonight, then go back. I'm so sorry. Father, Mother, if I die, I'm so sorry. My brother bandaged me up and said that my thick skull protected me, but I know it could have been a lot worse if I hadn't found me. Ekenar, thank you, and I'm sorry. I've been back walking with Father for a few days now, but I've been too tired to write. I keep needing to take breaks to sit and rest because my side still aches quite a lot. Ekenar keeps giving me looks, but that'll be okay. I want to see this to the end. We're very close to completing the crystal imager, but I'm really nervous. What if it doesn't work? Will we have to start all over again? It sounds like we'll find out tomorrow. It works. We saw Myst Island. We've been able to see Stone Ship by lenses. I can't believe it. My brother and I keep going back and forth between books, reading out the land settings and viewing each age over and over again, as if we're a game. But he seems more relieved that the work is finally completed. I'm sure he misses Mother too. I can't wait to return home and tell her what I did. What we did. And then another combination here, which I will also save into a different file. So these have to be for the lenses, so we get a view of at least 2 other islands. Is what I'm getting here. Yeah, it seemed like these 2 stupid lads had a much different chemistry between the 2 before shit hit the fan. Oh boy, we have some very specific numbers here going on. Let me see what the charts say. So it can go from 200 top and bottom to 1000 top and bottom. But the numbers in the journals are way smaller than that. Oh, that did something. Oh. Hey. Northern Lights. Right, so you can actually mix and match the colors. So it's now kind of pinkish at the top, and the same bright green at the bottom. Do we need a concrete value? Probably. Could go about exploring a little more of the island on the off chance that there is indeed more stuff to behold. Hey, more whales. Let me run back to the top here. There's something up there. I'm not sure how we're meant to access, if at all. Okay, that's the most important thing of note in the journal. Same here. These schematics could be pertaining to a different contraption. I can't access yet. There's something going on at the bottom of the building. Which could be that observatory at the top of the mountain. Or like a place I need to get from here somehow. Somewhere there's something beneath this table. I can only really go up from here, right? Yeah. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey. Is there a point to, let me go here? It's gotta be. Maybe I do have to get the Northern Lights to a specific color and something cool will happen here. Other than that, I can't spot anything of interest. Besides whales moving around, which is neat. They do get brought up a lot in this Age of Rime side story. But watch these whales be a red herring instead. Okay, I know whales are mammals and not fish, but you get what the sentiment lies. I wonder. Ah, secret compartment. Rime Volume 2. Before spending more time with my experiments, I have decided I must finish construction. I have brought both Cirrus and Ekenar this time. The shaft is almost finished, as is the observation post. Both boys prefer inside where it is warm, protected from the cold. Neither of them shows any real desire to leave. I can remember the last time my sons spent so much time with me in an age. Last night, Cirrus came to me with a hypothesis that may solve the crystal refraction issue entirely. His suggestion involved cutting the crystals into thin lenses before attempting to filter light through them, an idea that came to him while thinking about the properties of my eyeglasses. I can't help but smile at the idea of Sirs watching me stare through the solution on my nose. It is an unconventional approach, but his reasoning is sound. With Ekenar's help, I believe we can repurpose some of the equipment already in the workroom to fashion these crystal lenses. Progress on the lenses is slow, as the crystals are prone to shatter if handled incorrectly. Despite the setbacks, my sons are wholly engrossed in the task, and seeing them work together gives me great hope for the future. I long for the day I can bring them to Dunny, to see its beauty for themselves. I know they will prove themselves indispensable to any restoration efforts I might undertake. Eventually, I will need to tell them about Riven, but there is much to do before it becomes a concern. The lenses have been completed. Tonight we will return to Myst Island and to Catherine. It has been too long without the warmth of either. We all deserve a break. While there, I will need to collect some additional linking books. It brings me no joy, but the only way to test the device is to intentionally damage several of them, and ensure the device can still create a focused image. We want to spend a day with Catherine before returning. I was still working up the courage to ask her for it, but before I could begin speaking, she had placed the book in my hands. It was the waterlogged linking book to Riven. I had thrown to the sea the moment we were back in Myst, free of my father. I know destroying the book was only a symbolic gesture, as the descriptive book still remained in Kver, but I was young and angry. I remember Catherine swimming out to retrieve it, despite my objections. You should keep it. You may want it later, she told me. At the time, the idea upset me. Why would I want a reminder of that place? But once again, she was right. We said our goodbyes and returned to Rime, humbled by her foresight and love, as well as the note she had secretly tucked under the book's cover. Man, the more you read into this guy's family history, the more depressing it becomes, because it seems like he escaped the daddy issues, but then he became the daddy issue. Yikes. It has been several days with no progress. No matter how we alternate the lenses, only the faintest blurriest image appears. Did I damage the books too severely? Is the number of lenses too few or too many? The number of variables feels insurmountable. The boys find their own methods of encouragement. They have not given up hope, and so I must follow their example. For now, I have decided to refocus my efforts on the lights in the night sky. Although I originally thought the effect to be an organic one, I now believe it to be electromagnetic in origin. I think the effect could be triggered somehow. It's something that we'll have to try. I doubt either of my sons was expecting the amount of work it would take. It has turned out to be a challenge, working above the cold waters where the wind cuts through glowing skin like a sharp knife. Still, even amidst the dark cold, they are driven to complete the task. It is a side of them I have not seen before. The towers are finished. The power they require is conducted directly through the saline sea, alleviating the need for wires enabling us to locate the towers a comfortable distance away. We are close now. Tomorrow, after adjusting the voltage, we will know just how close. So this is what we've been fiddling with up top thus far. And we got a value here, 1,400. This morning as we work, I noticed Ekenar rubbing his eyes and groaning under his breath. Until now I had simply assumed it was fatigue, but he then asked if either Sirius or I ever got headaches from how strange the light is here compared to other ages. It took a few moments for the full weight of his observation to hit me. Ekenar had inadvertently noticed that the frequency of the visible light in Rime is completely unique to this age. Something so important and so solid had gone unseen as far. Of course, the lenses could not focus the linking panels of the books. They were calibrated assuming a standard frequency range. We shall repurpose the towers to allow the manipulation of the lights in the sky and project it through the lenses, giving us a much finer control. We will need to find the correct combined frequency and construct an additional tower to transfer the light to the imaging device, but I believe that work will go quickly. We're so close now. I can feel it. Another hard day, but we have erected the final tower. Erected, I swear, I'm a mature human being. I'm too tired to write tonight. Tomorrow we test Ekenar's fury. Econancers have some kind of shared interest, uh, some kind of shared secret they are keeping from me. I am into great curiosity about what it could be, but I believe it is better to let them have something that is theirs alone. Truth be told, I'm glad to see them relying on each other more. It has taken longer than I could have imagined, but this morning we were able to get a near perfect view of an age through its damaged book. It is an incredible sensation, like standing in two worlds at once. It is so much more than I could have done alone. The boys are so proud and want to return to Miss Aunt and immediately tell their mother about it. Which is just as well. It's time to learn about Riven. And we too shall, but that is... Well... Physics, everyone. Once used to be a happy family, I believe. At some point in history. And this is our way back home. Sure we want to, but we've got things to take care of first. So, yet another screen cap is made. So, we need a correct combined frequency, and the magic numbers here seems to be 1400. Now the question is, how we get that value? I mean, that's one way to go about it. Ooh. To think about looking right above me before. Wait, can I actually interact with the tower while that's happening? Can get a good view of it from here. That's for sure. Have we seen the lenses that you're meant to look through when this is going on? I don't believe so. It's definitely not gonna be the telescope now, is it? Yeah, that's just for more low-res whale activity. So So where did you, sleazy dogs, place the, thingamabob? Let's actually look into what the other age is. Hmm. I mean, maybe once we get the absolute correct frequency, then, something new will unlock? It feels a little too early to just, use the book and bail back to Myst. I mean, it's there. So, no harm in me, peeping it, I suppose. Let's head down again to Father's quarters. Hmm. Okay. I mean, at first glance, nothing has really changed on the main island. So that might be more for you to just go back at your own leisure. Construct an additional tower to transfer the light to the imaging device. Lights are still here, the way I set them. So your progress does get saved. Okay, let me head back up. Experiment a little more with number values. How specific can we get? Okay, we can go between increments of 20. I mean, it's easy enough to get 1,400, but it's more of a question of what's the balance? It's more or less the same as before. Hmm. Right. I don't know if the boys have scribbled in their journal like the colors and the numbers have anything to do with this particular segment. It could be for later down the road. See, trouble here is that you can really like go ham and come up with a dozen of different variations here to get that sweet spot. I mean, they have to be like balanced within a certain spectrum. So if we go, so 700 and 700. Ultra blue. See, one thing that gets brought up through these journals is that they managed to catch a glimpse of Myst, which means this all has to happen within this island. Because it won't make sense for me to go back to Myst just to take a peep at Myst, now will it? Now, what I'm curious about, though, is still from where are you actually meant to scope out this device. Oh geez, my throat is like really itchy. Could it be that I missed another lore book? Who's to say? Frequency of the visible light in Rime is completely unique to this age. Correct combined frequency. So it would have been a lot easier if you guys just gave me the answer right away. Atris, I understand why viewing Riven is so vital to you. In truth, I have not stopped thinking about my home since the moment we escaped. But no matter how much you insist, you're simply... Oh, jeez. Ensuring John remains trapped there? I see my own sadness when I look into your eyes. John is a monster who deserves his imprisonment, but I also know he will always be your father. Atris, my love, do you wish only to affirm that the cage still holds? Or is there something more significant to you that you're searching for? Yours, Catherine. I heard a weird warble. Not sure if that's something happening in the background. Cool little detail. Oh, you bet I'm pixel hunting in the 3D remake, because if one of these books actually proved to be interactable, I would have been potentially missing on a key point here. Oh, hang on. I'm actually gonna have to, like, come here with crystals and chuck them in the fireplace to warm them. Is that gonna be a thing? That will require us to go far enough. So far I only have this at my disposal. So it seems like our end goal here is catching a glimpse of Riven. But in order to do that, we have to jump through several hoops. One of them being this. As fun as this experiment colors. This is really pushing the chain of events forward. Let me look at these color dots from the brothers' journals, because I see in Acorns we got like bright green, strong blue, and then brown. 1296. $200, 1000. It's too much, though. And then the other one has brown, pink, purple, green. This wood, not this two. Then we're fairly certain we already tried this combo. So a weird flash for just a second there. Really out here looking for the slimmest of visual and audio cues. And at the end of the day, you can get like really specific with these values. Like this, for instance. 600. Take away. So it's more or less like the same color scheme. It's less intense. Hmm. I feel like I need to look around for more information. Where can I find it? Doesn't look like there's more of the island to explore. Although it feels like there should be. It seems that this is all we're getting. Unless again, there's something in the ground level shack that I'm skipping past. Like another secret compartment or whatever. Hmm. Sadly, I was hoping for something else. Damn. Could there be something on Myst in the first book of Rime? Then I need to push this forward. Hey, I got better alternatives, so back we go. It is visually stunning. I'll give it that. Together with channel wood, it certainly stands out among the others. Although, I would say that pretty much every age has a very distinct and charming look to it. This looks unique and nothing like we've seen, although that might be more of alluding to Riven itself than anything of value to us, per se. I have really enjoyed the latest Mandela Catalog episode. Like, once again, Alex Kister strays away from his original formula to do something a little more unique. And let me tell you, I do not anticipate the twist that happens on. Like, it genuinely just seems normal until pretty much the very end of it, where it takes on a truly amazing turn of events. Alright, you two. I'm gonna have to hope that one of you fellas left a little more useful hints somewhere here in your scribbles. I mean, maybe the light has to do something with that those 4 lenses down the lab. Once you, like, activate it. See, that I didn't actually take into account. It would be a very weird way to go about it. That's for sure. And, hey. That's all we got. No, I mean... like, it's not gonna come down here, no matter how you look at it. Do I actually have to make... Hmm... See, there's 4 lenses though. I was thinking maybe getting the colors to like match them? Because we got like what? The leggy one, red, blue, and green. Red, blue, green. What would be a good approximation? Probably here, to be honest. It's too much. Kinda, maybe? Oh no, wait, I fucked up. Fucked up. Yeah, this is all conjecture on my part. Got no idea if any of these are remotely close to actually being true. Uh, do I want to look this up? Again, I have the video walkthrough on deck. So it's more to make sure that I haven't walked past something really important. Ah. Alright, I see. Here's what you don't know. I actually did get it right, but here's the thing. There's a whole new secret compartment here. Yep. It had to have been somewhere. I actually thought that was a block of cheese at first. 14, 10, 7, 4... We found it. Even after all these years, I recognize it in an instant. Infinity in a bottle. There it is. The contraption. Stone chip, channel wood, Myst, blank space, selenitic, and there's ribbon, which we actually need to unlock. Alright, let's try the codes that the boys had in their notes. So first, Acheron. How far can these go? Oh, alright. Quite contrived. Hit like a 12 at the beginning. Wait, how do I move down even further? Can even go down to 0, which I didn't realize. Okay, 12. Does that change the colors? Yes, it does. This is this one. Second one needs to be a 9. Dark blue. Brown or orange rather, as it looks here. And then white on 2. No, Chief, I'm not really getting anything here. Could he have been wrong? Or maybe there's even more we can do with these lanterns. I'm not realizing here. Oh, you can actually change the intensity too. Right. At least the other 3. Right, we got 3 levels. It's gonna be like I think just open up to full capacity, and then this one like this. No. They still mess it up. Hmm. Oh, maybe you gotta do it every single time. Oh shit. Really not getting anything here with North. Hmm. Pretty sure I got the settings right. So what gives? Fourteen, 10, 7, 4. Twelve, 4. That one's gotta be Riven. Crystal observations. Magnetism between the height of the top and the bottom lenses cannot exceed 11 steps. It seems the light is unable to penetrate the ink of the book if the distance is too great. To allow for needed refraction, no two sequential lenses can have a matching iris size. Each lens color frequency must be unique. To compensate for extreme refraction, the lens set to use the highest frequency color must also use the smallest iris. If a lens sits between two small iris lenses, it must be equal in distance to both. Lens frequency must decrease in order as they get closer to the book. Can increase or decrease, but they must do so in order. Even with the alteration of the base crystal shape into a flat lens, the law of physics cannot be circumvented. Oh, we're getting to some really, really deep shit in here. I'm just gonna say that's way above my pay grade. And it is a small pay grade indeed. I mean, what Cirrus and Ekenrar could have written in their journal entries would be the sequences for each of the different ages. Definitely gonna wager it's not Riven. That'll be way too easy. Right. What about the other fellas? Combination. Set to 4. Sorry, because some of these have like varying degrees of how close the lens is. Well, here have seemingly only 3 settings. which confuses me. It's just about everything besides potentially the lens size set up correctly. Seems like with the top though, there's always one fully opened, because you can't really change the values anyway. That one produces a slightly different sound. Not that it mattered. Hmm. You all just had to protect this one note. I mean, I figured the combinations we found in the other journals were to give us glimpses of the other ages, so we knew how to set up this device. But now I'm kind of starting to question whether I even know how to operate it correctly, since I think it's really coming up so far. I mean, we got this right here, so we could give it a test run. Take a picture of it. Question is that from top to bottom? Probably because they all grade down. So let's see. 14 fully opened. And it's gonna be this teal shade. Second one, number 10. Blue color. Lens size is correct. 7 is red. That's because the approximation we have to red. Fully open. Number 4 is like brown, yellow. And set to this. So, seems correct. I get what this puzzle's... Ooh. Oh, hell yeah. Finally. I was gonna say we're getting no feedback at all, but... Hey. Finally some progress, so... It's the standard gauge. So what we see here in the lab is for it specifically. Alright, so I guess that means we got the voltage set up correctly. However, based on all this info, can we figure out how to find Riven? I mean, we could give it another shot. I mean, all this seems like too elaborate at first glance, but then when you think of the fact that you actually need to assemble all layers just to figure out the combo for Riven, it does give you some idea how to progress. Like, for instance, each lens color frequency must be unique, so they can't be all of the same color. And neither lens can have a matching iris size that are next to each other. Capacity for extreme refraction and lens set to use the highest frequency color must also use the smallest iris. How is that graded though? If a lens sits between two small iris lenses must be equal in distance to both. I'm sure someone had a blast. Nailing this down. Alright, so what do we know? This is definitely going to be higher. At least up until from 15 up to 20 max. This has to be at 12 and has blue, so that's already 2 steps of the puzzle. The iris size for this one has to be small. And that one's number 4, so it's already locked in the correct position. So these two are fine. So that means number 3 can be from either 9 to 7. We don't know the color for these two. But this one's gonna be like this. So that already eliminates these two colors from here. So it can be either white, teal green, bright green, four different colors basically. Right, what about the iris size? What did this say? Two of them can't be the same next to each other. Max distance between the height of the top and bottom lens cannot exceed 11 steps. Um, This can't be too high. Wait, how do we count these? It's kind of difficult when you can't see the segments properly. Lenses between two small iris lenses must be equal distance to both. Lens frequency must decrease in order to get close to the book. Increase or decrease, but they must do so in order. Ooh, there's a lot of variables to memorize. So you can go between 15 and 20. You do have to be stuck here. So you can really go up to 9 max. So you're really close to the book. How wild would it have been if I actually got this on my first try? Remember, there's plenty of variables to take into account still, even with these hints that we got. I almost want to say I see a splotch of green here. And that this lens is fully open. We're learning how light refraction works. Kinda, sorta. Highest frequency commas used to use the smallest iris. What's the gradient frequency then? Because if we assume this is max, that's already fully opened. So it would have to be small, right? Well, I don't think we're gonna get much else in terms of clues. I can tell you all that much. Wait. Access between the height of the top and bottom lenses cannot exceed 11 steps. Alright, I actually had to count them physically, and it is 11. As presented here. Which, I wonder how accurately I could get that from counting here. I think it has to be at 15. I could be mistaken. Because if these are like at 4 and 12, then we have it set at number 11. That this means it has to be at 15 to not exceed 11 steps between each lens. From top to bottom. And since you can't change the color of, I mean, the intensity of the lens at the top, this seems to be the correct setting for that one. No two sequential lenses can have a matching iris size. So if we assume this is the default setting, wondering about how potentially intensity changes with the color. Because that's the top. It needs to be yellow. How does that translate to the rest of the colors then? This one's going to be either half open or almost closed. Third one, let me look at these drawings again. Is that almost close or halfway into it? Probably halfway, right? There is some real brainstorming going on right now in my head. I can assure you, those gears are twisting in place instead of barely grinding against each other with cobwebs being stuck. Well, I say I have some good ideas, but probably just not connecting a couple missing dots. I think I already tried a fair bit of possible combos I can think of. That one on the bottom does look like it would be fully open. That could be a ruse to throw you off. You only see so little of this piece of paper, with the rest of the vital information obscured. Highest frequency color. Oh, does that pertain to what you see at the top? Because see, that's the one of the key information that I didn't quite understand at first. But now looking back at the voltage tower, I seem to get what it's pointing at. Yeah, the more you go, the brighter it gets. So it goes from like white to orange, red, blue, and then the shades of green. I will admit that actually a lot of thought went into this multi-layered puzzle, which is kind of insane. It is kind of funny, but in a kind of good way that will actually rattle your skull. Thing is, though, I might be a little too small brain for this. Because I can already tell you that it was the sharpest tool in the shed when it came to science subjects in school. So, let me see here. Any lens that use the highest frequency color must also use the smallest iris. And the highest frequencies in this case are different shades of green. Which means that these two would have to be different. And this iris is probably gonna be in the middle then. Hang on, so third one is Well, that would make sense if two adjacent ones have the same size. Then they would have to be small. So this one has to be medium or large. If it's like from medium to large, just have a more intense color, but then this kind of throws my theory into the trash, because blue is in the medium range. This is where it gets really tricky. Huh. Could swap these places and see what happens. Probably at a point where I'm close to giving up and just looking up the solution, but hey, I can say give an honest attempt. Yep. Let's see just how far I was off in my earnest attempts. Right, what's the riven one then? Alright, let's see. So it's like... it appears I got the top one correct. And then... second one is also how it needs to be. Third is... almost right. And as for the final one... Yep. I was marginally off. There you go. There's a sneak peek at Riven over there. So is that all there is to this place? I wonder. Okay. I see. So this doesn't really have like a proper ending to it. It's more so that it's meant to provide backstory. So once you really get like the vision of Riven, that's it. There's nothing really else to experience here. Well, might as well end on potential spoilers, or rather, again, a trailer of what's to come. In the future, probably the more distant than the closer, because I do have a lot going on my plate at the moment. But you know what? I like the Myst enough that I will entertain the thought of scooping the Riven Remaster, because that one wasn't included in the pack. But they do get a snazzy discount for actually purchasing it. And I do believe we'll come back to this series in the future. And here we are, back where it all started, and where it all came to an end. The brothers are no more. And as for our friend Edgeworth here, well, he's got bigger fish to fry, because his wife is gone, kidnapped by powers beyond our comprehension. We know that he had a beef going on with his old man, which is funny because in an ironic twist of fate, that also came to happen with his own sons. Truly tragic. It was meant to be a happy family, but let's hope that the river things get better for our boy. And who knows, we might be there to help mend a broken family. But yep, there you have it. That's Myst in a nutshell. Did it age well? I would say that, well, with puzzles, it's really a matter of taste. Because some of them are gonna hit better than others. Like that what we just did with the light refraction. I think that was well thought. Like, sure, it was multi-layered and hella confusing, but I feel like it actually gave you a lot more to work with than some of the more obscure, poorly explained sequences, like that blasted music puzzle that is probably gonna give me PTSD for the rest of my life. Like, no joke, that was actually awful to go through. So, now that this is wrapped up, what's more to come in the future, you might ask? Well, your boy's birthday is coming up, come Wednesday. Plus, we have the 5th anniversary of me streaming on Twitch, so there's a lot to look forward to. Hopefully, I'll be here on Wednesday to celebrate my day of birth. If not, then this grand event is gonna happen during the week. But I'll keep you all updated. I'll probably make a post on Twitter and announcement on Discord, so you know what my schedule evolves to. Thank you for the raid suggestion, Golden. We have Swolecat on the menu. What are they currently streaming, my friend? And yeah, what else was I gonna say? After the celebratory stream, we'll go back to my regular featured programming, which is to say, I'm more than happy to arrange another Remnant stream with Frosty, because the first one was awesome, and I'm yearning for more. Other than that, there's a couple of smaller titles I do want to get out of the way before I go for another larger game. But I haven't made up my mind quite yet, so it's gonna be a surprise. Yeah, if I could, all do for my rambling tonight. So, thank you all for tuning in to this journey into Myst. It's been a valuable lesson, I think, in how puzzle games have started off with the granddaddy of them all, and in a weird turnover during its evolution into the remastered shape, it actually took some lessons from its contemporaries, which one way or another were inspired by Myst. So, a interesting bridge to gap the decades that have passed since the release of the original Myst. Alright, y'all. I wish you all a happy Sunday and a fruitful beginning of the upcoming week. I know it's going to be a busy one for me, but we will make that time to play video games, because that's what we like to do here. Also, out of habit, I almost targeted raid at Frosty, who is not even live at the moment. Do we have a message for Swolcat once we begin the raid? You know what? Let's go with the classic roll in. All right, everybody. Let's go, and till next time.